What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. What is going on, guys? I had the mute button on.
Hey, what's up?
Manny?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? Yeah,
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Dent Digest. We are just having a bang-up night already.
That's right. You ready for New Year's?
I'm ready for 2022. So this is episode number 83. The last episode for 2020. It's crazy.
Congratulations on
it's
your
pretty cool.
82nd show. Right?
82nd/83rd that I marked wrong, but it's okay. We're good. We're good. So we got some serious business we're going to get into right now. I don't know if you guys have heard Igor over in Croatia. They had a terrible, terrible earthquake. And those guys are really, really struggling. A couple of the tool manufacturers reached out and want to do some type of a deal to give back. Peter from VIP, he's doing a save 10%, give 10%.
Okay.
On his tool stuff. It's going to be going through, let me see here, until January 1 at midnight. So go buy some VIP tools. He's going to donate. You donate. Everybody's happy. There's also
That's awesome.
A GoFundMe that Ben Riley, I don't know if you know Ben, Trident Dent Repair over in the UK. He put a GoFundMe together for those guys, and Igor's okay. They're just trying to get people taken care of because it's just such devastation over there. You know, it's just been such a crazy year. You know what I mean? Like one thing after the next. And it's just seems like the world just can't catch a break right now. So the good thing is, you know what this is doing this year?
What's that?
It is, I feel like, you look at all the bad stuff in the world and you're like, man, we got race wars. We got people that anti-mask or mask people or Trump supporters or Biden supporters. And so you look at the world, and you're like, man, it's so divided. But when you're in the shit, okay, the first responders, the tragedies that are happening all over the world, you're seeing countries get together and make it happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're getting together and trying to support each other and just work through everybody's problems. So shout out to those first responders. The hospitals are getting crazy, and they're doing what they can do.
Yeah. It's cool. It's so awesome to see that the one race, the human race, no matter what color, what country you're from, like you said, when it's down to it, we all come together.
Yeah, you know I mean, there's a lot of crap in the world, but in the beginning of this whole thing, I kind of felt like I was losing faith in humanity.
That's scary, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Because I just was like, man, this world, there's riots, there's the race wars, there's the COVID stuff going on. I'm like, nobody cares. But I feel like now people are starting to get together. It's starting to pump the brakes and really kind of get the world back together. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for a new year. I finished my last car of 2020 today, and it was a really good day. I said that to you earlier today. I was like, we had a really good day. It was kind of chill. I kind of left the day kind of light because end of the month, end of the year, and body shops, they've been sitting on a car for a month with a dent in it, and they wait for the last minute to call you. But I always leave this day open just for that type of thing. But I don't know. It's for such a crappy year. And, I had 8.5 weeks off, dude, but numbers wise, I'm up from last year. So figure that out.
Yeah.
It's
crazy. If I could ask you one question, that one thing that you're grateful for 2020, I mean, something different, something that we cannot not relate, you know? That's
Health.
one thing.
Health. I'm terrified every day, you know, and it sounds crazy. I'm a
No,
big
it is.
dude. I've been doing this business for a lot of years, and I look back and I'm always like, that Dent Reaper's right over my shoulder. You know, but it's my health, I'm on a serious vitamin plan now.
Okay.
You know, she's got me, you know, I go in there to take a pee and it's kind of looks like a neon glow stick in there, but you know,
it's for the best of us, you know?
it is, you know, and you know what else it's done as a business? It's made me personally slow down.
Mm.
And I think I appreciate things a little more than I did.
That's what I was just going to say. Something for sure I've learned this year is just learn a little bit more how to appreciate even the little things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even the little things. You know what I mean? Shout outs to all the Dent guys. Shout outs to everyone watching, man. That's
you know,
cool.
and I want to thank everybody. You know, it's been a whole year. I want to thank everybody for hanging in here and hearing my shenanigans every week. You know, it's been fun. I think this year I've got some new stuff coming. I'm excited. Little bit of a change, kind of some business development stuff. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Just kind of still keep it real. And there's another thing I want to get into before we get into all these tools. We got a ton of stuff here going on and we're ready to go. But if you guys haven't checked out John Vidine's podcast, Dents and Dreams.
Oh, that's right. He talked about it.
It's pretty good, man. I'll tell you, I listened to it this week and I don't know if it's because I have a relationship with John and it's just the real John. Like his little antics of his laugh and, you know, the way that he handles himself and the questions. And I enjoyed it, dude. Like,
you know what I think? I haven't even heard the podcast, but I already have this feeling that I think that's the new John.
Yes.
That's the new John. I mean, what he went through last month, you know, with the, I like to say with the vid.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first episode of him getting down and dirty about himself.
Yeah.
Just listen. Just go over there and give all these guys. I mean, Randy did a fantastic thing with his Christmas giveaways, and you know, all of them. All these guys out here are just trying to keep us together.
You know, and there's never enough. You know, we're a community. You know, I always feel like, you know, some people are just like, oh, another podcast, another show, just like, it's a community. You know what I mean? And everyone has their own way, you know, and I'm excited for John because, like I said, for you know, what he went through, I know that he's still good, nothing too crazy serious, right? But I think that this kind of brought up something new in him. So I'm excited.
But like I said, go to VIP Tools, save 10%, give 10%. And if you guys have never met Igor, he made that Cairo knockdown with the leather tip. Does a lot of work with Dentcraft. He is an absolute, just so pleasant to be around. Just one of those guys that just super passionate about PDR, super passionate about relationships, and just cares. And those guys are just struggling over there. So whatever you can do,
share that link too.
Just do. I'll get it up. It's actually on my Facebook page right now. The code is use code Croatia. Okay. And just try to give back, you know. And then Ben Riley's also doing the GoFundMe page, and it's just to help them try to get people back on track. And you know, I don't know. It's a crazy world, but we got some stuff here and need to get into it. I want to bring on some new tools that I got.
Repairing the house.
Before we get into our top 5, I want to bring some new stuff that I have not had long enough to add it to my list. And I had a real hard time narrowing it down to 5. But there's some sneakers in there. We may go a little over 5 because I struggled. I really, really struggled the last 2 weeks to sit there and say, okay, these are my 5, because there are such great tools that came out this year.
Yeah,
So the first thing I'm going to bring up, I think me and Manny were posting it earlier this week. If you guys have not seen these, and you all know, and I say this all the time, roofs. I fix a ton of roofs, and you have to dolly these roofs. And it's a fantastic set. I mean, it a lot of different shapes. I like the lengths of them. The material's super, super hard. You can hit them. They're hard. You know what I mean? I mean, they are a hard dolly. So I haven't put them fully through the ringer. I have used them once this week. And they're designed by Abracadabra, which is he's partners with Cars Formers. So you need to reach out to Cars Formers if you guys are interested in these. But if you've never dollied before, it's definitely something that you need to practice with. Because you can definitely, and I've done it. I've hit an edge of a roof rail, and it's bulged up too high, and it's really hard to get that back level flat. So
you definitely got to be careful with those edges. But yeah, these tools are definitely going to get you there.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? I was using it today, and I was just whacking. I missed. I hit my thumb here. Oh boy! Woo! But it's because my point is that it was taking it. I was hitting hard, and it was doing the job.
Yeah.
Man, they're amazing. They are amazing.
They are. They're actually pretty good. So.
Shout out to Eddie Evans.
So the other tool that I was super excited about getting from Excalibur, the Devil's Tail, and I put it in the fender, and I'm like, I'm not getting this. I'm struggling. This thing doesn't work. Come on. You have to pull, and it makes complete sense. You stick it up in there, and you're just pulling that edge, and what this is doing is getting in that very edge of that fender. And I was actually sliding it too.
Mm-hmm.
Works really well. You've seen a couple different options. I think it's $5 more for the stainless. So, really, really good tool from Excalibur. Great job, Rick. It works, man. I do a ton of fenders. I'm a fender and roof guy, and this thing's sharp. I mean, I bet you if you pushed hard enough, you're going to cut yourself. So,
what's crazy is that you need that sharpness on that edge of the fenders.
Yes.
And it's not sharp where it's scary. You pinch it. No, it's just it's sharp where it's necessary, and but it's a nice sharp, tool.
And if you guys didn't see Danny D's in here, I don't know how he's watching this. He just had cataract surgery, so hopefully you recover good, Danny, because you're gonna be in trouble if you can't see out of them things. So,
hey, if you can't watch, you can hear.
So a tool that I do have to give a little bit of love, the Dent Slayer. I gave it its whirl, and I can say it's probably the cleanest door tool that I've ever pushed with. It doesn't prick it up. It pushes a lot like a stand liner tool. And what I really, really like, and I didn't think I was going to, this nub.
Why?
I like the way that this handle feels in your hand.
Yeah.
The way that you can grab this just gets you enough. I think if he made a longer version of these, I think they would also sell. So I talked to him today. Like, man, one more length of these would be really, really nice.
Yeah, because you can really get all the way down there.
But I'll tell you, it pushed so clean. I fixed this really gnarly Corolla door right on the body line, big nasty. And I pushed the whole thing with this. Besides the upper brace, I ended up using my shameless plug here. The shut-ups.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing surprised me. I haven't done a 2020 Corolla yet. This thing got all the way up to the belt molding. I could literally, that flat little spot at the top by the belt molding, I could make prick marks. So this is one of my tools for this year, even though it's not on my top 5, but they just work, dude.
Anyone, if you want to buy them, don't forget you could save some tax money next year. So you got about.
They're sold out.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't have them till mid-January. So if you want them, reach out to Mark. He's putting people on a list.
Okay.
So, but yeah, let's get back to the dent player. Let's not talk about the shut-ups. It's not important. It's a shameless plug.
Mr. Slayer's probably watching you like, oh, he had to bring it.
It really does. It pushes a lot like a stand liner. I drug it today like a stand liner. It's a really good tool. I'm really, and he gave it to me for free. He sent it to me as a gift. But I'm telling you an honest review, and I'm not just saying it because it was free. It just worked. You know, it pushed so clean. I was so shocked, and Shane was there, and he's like, "What are you using?" I'm using the Dent Slayer, and he's like, "It's so clean."
Yeah.
So,
but you know what I like about that, like that size that he has, though, is that it's multiple uses. Like you could use it doors, fenders. I mean, you get creative. You know.
Look at that, Boyette. Longer ones are coming out soon.
That's cool, man. That's
so
definitely cool right there.
I want to get into this top tools for 2020. I'm going to let you go. We're going to go back and forth. So you do one, I'm going to do one. We'll just roll through that way. Manny, you're up.
Let's do it. Well, I want to say I'm going to bring 2 up.
I'm going to put you on the main screen as we sit here.
Oh, come on. I'm going to get shot, man.
What?
I think that 2020 was the year of the blending hammer. The best.
Hey, I'm still waiting. Mine's supposed to be here soon. Kyle said they were coming in the mail.
You know, there's something about this fixed bullet size tip here that the way it moves metal is just, it's amazing. What I love about this one is that you could really do some fine cleanup. The hammer, this, what do they call this? Purple heart, I think, something like that. This wood, it's amazing. And I mean, the way it's designed for you to hold it.
Is it bloodwood?
No, it's purple heart, something like that. So anyways, but you know, I want to say this respectfully, that, you know, these kind of hammers, I think that you really have to know how to use them so that you can really benefit, you know, what it's made to do. But anyway, so one of my tools, top 5 tools for 2020, I want to say for sure was the best.
It's the best top tool.
But I did get my hands on another tool that it's going to be on my top 5. And a lot of people have asked me about it. And it's basically the Karsformers hammer.
It's like a sexy dream.
It's Karsformers gang here. But, you know, everyone asks me, all right, Manny, well, you have the best and you have the Karsformers. Which one is better? And I want to say this. Neither of them is better than the other. They're both, I think, very amazing blending hammers. They both have their own, you know, things that make a difference. But man, this Karsformers blending hammer is just the same thing. Just the way it moves the metal. It's just, it's powerful. It's, you know, and I do really enjoy that, the bigger size tip and the smaller size.
You know what I can truly appreciate on that tool is the true craftsmanship of the wood.
Yeah, yeah.
That true feeling of that handle.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that till the other day, but how the, you know, even the design in the wood blends in with like the metal tip, you know, it's,
yeah,
Like it's amazing, you know? So to me, this definitely hits my top 5, you know, even though I've been waiting for this hammer for a very long time, but these two, my top, you know, 2 of my top 5 tools for sure. Same thing. I think that these tools, like, you really have to know how to use them so that you can really benefit, you know? And when you really reach that point, you're unstoppable. It's just like you can move the metal, like.
Yeah.
So 2 of my top 5 tools there. Another of my top tools.
Hold on. We're going back to this.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry about that.
There you go, buddy. There you
Excited.
go.
Talking tools. Too excited over here.
So you're already on 3 now.
No. I just showed you 2. I'm not gonna show you my 3rd one. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let's hold them pants down. Look, we got it. Hold on. Hold them pants. All right.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorites. Rick knocked it out of the park. I'm only going to grab one of each. The mini hood and deck set from Excalibur. If you don't have these, you're losing money. And I'm going to tell you right now, here's another one. I'm going to drop the bomb again tonight, and my wife's going to kill me.
Uh-oh.
If you buy these, don't like them, and you don't think they work, I'll buy them back.
Okay.
The reason why I know it's not going to happen, because the minute you put these in your hand and you're working a deck lid or a hood, you're done. You're done. They just, and what I really think it is, okay, there's a couple features on this that I wasn't a believer. There's a lot of stuff that I don't believe, and then I get them in my hand. I'm like, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. A couple things about this tool. As you can see, a resemblance right off the bat from the Dent Slayer. This little nub, okay? So you have a lot of tools. You get them underneath the hood, and you're always struggling here. You're always struggling where that handle's just not getting it. You don't even get that far with these. These get up in that hole right there, and you were all over the corners of those Hondas and Corolla hoods and deck lids. I mean, you were all over those things without even damaging the hole.
Yeah.
Comes in 2 different sizes. Got a smaller one and a larger one. I don't know if you guys can see that. They've got a weird hook size, and for me, it's difficult. I don't keep them in my bag. I keep them in one of my truck drawers in the back of my truck. But they're so sharp. You know, they really just work, man. And if I had to pick out of all of the tools that I have this year,
that's it, huh?
Would be number 1. And they work really, really well. And Shane did a Honda order, like an 07 Honda Accord deck lid, and they're terrible to work on. And he used them, and he's like, I'm buying these tomorrow. Like, as soon as you get them in your hands, you're like, dude, why? Why did I wait so long to get these?
And it's crazy how that round shape, how much strength it pulls, huh?
You know what it really does is you barely, and I did a test with Shane, and it was a body guy at one of the shops. It's kind of into PDR. And I'm using a tool, and I'm cranking on this thing, and I'm tearing the hole all up, you know. I slid this up, and it was literally like this, just barely turning.
That's crazy.
They're fantastic. And like I said, my wife's going to kill me.
I'm not going to lie. Heavenly Hill, I saw, you know, he uses those a lot, and he basically sold me on them. And I built the cart. I just have not hit confirm, but yeah, I would love to have those tools.
So I'm going to go up. Hold on. Show the tips. Are we talking about the tips, Alan, of the Excaliburs, or the tips of tips? I'm not sure. But it's the mini hood and deck set.
You know, I really like the longer one that they also have that one. Yeah, I saw there was a video that he was using it on a decklet, I think it was. It was literally reaching all the way in there. I saw that. I was just like, sold.
So I'm gonna go one more up, and then we can catch up.
Yeah, I got too excited over here.
I'm struggling here. I don't know what to pick next. It's like Christmas time. It's like, what gift? Guess I'll just go through what's on this table. I'm a huge advocate for this company. I've been a big cold glue person for a long time. And this Glexo Hail Kit, bro. I think I use this on stuff I really shouldn't use and are really learning how to really make it work and save me time. And what I mean by that is I had a smashed Equinox fender and it had this 2 nasty crowns at the body line and they were kind of low on either side of the crown. And I knocked some of the crown down and went in with Glexo and just small little pops in there with the smaller hail tab. And I guarantee cut my time by 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, it something with the Glexo glue, and I've had them all. I've had sticky tab tape. I've had the Ultra tabs. I've had the Sergio's, but something with this glue, I don't know. And something with, I think the stainless tabs, something with this stainless tab with the glue, you know, in the beginning it was the glue would come off. But I think after it stays on there a little longer, it doesn't. And their new hail kit, I mean, I don't have them in here because they're in my truck, but you know, it comes in this nice little container with the hot glue and the warm weather glue and the regular. And their new addition of the little O-rings on the tabs make a big difference with the slide hammer. I don't know. The hail kit, if you don't have it, there's another tool that I would say go buy because you're going to use the smaller tabs. I've used it on roof rails. I use it on a lot of busted roofs too. When it's got that low right by the roof rail, like
that's
right by
the.
Huh?
So that's so fun to pull when using Glexo.
You know, it's got the little roof molding and it's dented right there. I'll take Glexo and just pow, 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 and then dolly the edge. And a lot of times I don't even have to push.
Yeah.
So, it's my number 2, man. I mean, that thing,
you know,
not in any order, but that's a fantastic kit.
You know, what's funny is that everyone who I've talked to that they just got their Glexo and they're like, hey, look what I got. You know, I've been watching you, using it for a while. And then after they start using it, they're just like, wow. They just love it, Yeah, that stuff, it's amazing. So can I go next? Okay.
And if you guys can get on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, share this. Try to get it out there to more techs. Show the manufacturers some love. And just try to get more people in here. It's for the community.
Right.
We take our time out of our week to bring it to you. If you can, just share this thing and get more views and really get the people to see what's out there. Because some people still don't know. It's.
What's crazy, and I always say this, is just like there's so many things that even me, myself, I have learned from just watching the show.
Yeah, me too. I mean, some of the experiences through people and the interaction with people. I mean, look at Albert with the glass polisher. Bro, I've done that. I've done it. I'll tell you right now. I've done it this year. You know what I mean? I mean, it happens.
And what's crazy even about that, he was talking about his favorite glue was that tap weld. I remember when I first started, I used tap weld and I just didn't like it, right? But it's because my glue pulling skills weren't really there yet. And then after he mentioned it, I was just like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. And man, I've been using it this whole week, Ryan. I tell you that tap weld, man, I am pulling like the smallest things. And it's just like, wow. And it's just, I watched the show and he talked about it, and I'm just like, it's just little things like that that really take you a step ahead just by watching the show. You know what I mean? And it's our community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's awesome, man. Yeah. So definitely everyone go out and share it, please. So can I go next?
You're next. You're next. What? Let me bring you full screen here.
Listen, and I know some of you guys are going to be like, whoa, how did you get your, yeah. But what I'm really trying to show you is just this whole tool on its own. Listen, we've all been there where there's something very tiny that you're trying to push on the fender, and if you use your rod, like the whole thing just moves. You have full control with this tool. You have full control. You could just, if you have a fender dent, you could just use this, take it out, don't even use your rod. But what I love is just the control that it gives you when it holds the metal here, and it just allows you to just go back there and just push wherever.
Yeah. I want to get the blowout tools for them. Anson makes a blowout tip set for that's supposed to work really, really good. So
I have not seen that. But man, if you don't have the fender pliers, you need these in your life. It's that one tool that a lot of people always say is just like, oh, I'm going to hold back on buying that tool because I just don't know when I'm going to use it. You're going to use it.
Same thing with these.
Use it. Yeah.
People are like, yeah, I don't know. Like when we were at MTE, it's exactly the same. I said, the problem with tools like this, there's some other tools out there. It's situational, but when you need it, bro.
And some people like either the fender plier or the edge pliers. I'll tell you, I love them both.
So do I. You need them both.
Yeah. There's situations where you're going to really need this one. And there's other situations where just the edge plier is perfect.
Yes.
What's really cool is that you could get creative. You know what I fixed the other day with that edge plier was a belt molding.
Oh, yeah.
They had a dent in the center. What's got my edge plier, literally just went in there, pushed it out. The customer was like, "You're done?"
I use that. I use the fender pliers, and I have them at the shop right now. 63 Mustang stainless windshield moldings. And I do a bunch of hot rod moldings. Most of them are stainless. These are stainless chrome dipped. And they'll get little dings and dents. And you get them out close. Like the stainless ones, I like them because you can set the molding on the table. You've got obviously microfiber down. And that has enough angle to get my hand away from the table. It's because it's elevated at the backside. So the pliers are flat underneath the molding, and that gets me high enough and I can just slowly watch pushing that. So those work really, really good on moldings.
You know what I use this on too is, same thing on the fender, but you know how sometimes they kink? Well, with the right tip, you could just get in there where it's kink, and it works itself out. And you have control. That fender, it's not going to move anywhere, I had those, the Dentcraft, the fender holder, I don't know what they're called, but they just hold the fender so it doesn't move.
A ratchet system.
This will save you. This will save you, So, yeah, I would say another of my, top 5 tool, even though, did this come out No, this came out last year, right?
Yeah.
So, I still want to say it's kind of still
like you. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
So, fender pliers.
B&D and Anson sells them. It's you're gonna use them. Oh, sorry. Look at that.
Come on, Ryan.
Oh my gosh. You're gonna use them. I use both of them.
I have both.
I think that the fender pliers are a little rough on the door edges. I feel like the angle's a little too aggressive, but I think it's a fantastic tool.
It is.
It eliminated this. Beating that edge and you know.
You can just you're able to be more precise.
Yeah.
You know? But anyways, if you guys want to get both of them, I recommend both of them. If you guys just want to get the fender plier, then that's cool. If you want to get the edge plier, either way, you can't go wrong with these. So that's my third one on my top 5.
Well, I'm going to do a little trio here. Same company, 3 different tools. I'm kind of breaking the rules, but you know what? It's my show, so it's okay. I've said this for most of the year. I finally think I've gotten to that point that I'm really comfortable doing it. I was never a big blender with a blending hammer, but I said this year that I was really going to focus and teach myself and take the time and learn. And I've gotten to that point to where I really understand it and I've really gotten good at it. And I've done a lot of it with the VIP blending hammer.
Nice.
I do use an edgy, I think it's the new short, small C cup maybe on there. But what I meant by kind of a multiple tool drop here, you guys know I'm a big advocate for the Endeavor Dental crown jewels and the tips. But the leather tips, man, the leather heads that he came out with hit differently than those. This one is probably my favorite, the small purple. I like wood, kind of like you were saying about the best hammer. Something about the wood with blending. I don't know if it's because I'm a Dent Wizard guy and I grew up with a Craftsman hammer. And yes, I said Craftsman hammer. I don't use one anymore. I'm sorry, Todd. But this blending hammer with the ball and the square, I just really adapted to it. Something about it. I think I have been using my what is it? Not VIP. It's the I can't even think about it. It's the Brazil company. Fast PDR blending hammer. So it's got a little more weight. So I'm moving up to that. It's like stepping into 12th or 11th grade before you get to 12th grade. But, you know, I'm a 19-year tech here talking about just learning how to blend with a hammer, but we were never taught back then. You know what I mean? I was always really comfortable with just a VIP and a hammer, and I will go up against somebody with a knockdown and a hammer.
And see, and that's what I meant earlier, Ryan. Like, with all respect, I think that blending, it's one of those skills that like you really have to grow to that level. Yes.
And this was perfect. I mean, for me, it worked really well. The leather heads, like I said, work fantastic. And it's just an addition. So I have the crown jewels. I have the leather heads. That's the only 2 that type of knockdown tips that I'm using.
Paul really loves that tip. He talks about that. My friend Paul, he talks about that tip all the time.
Yeah, it's really good, man. It works really, really well. So now I'm going to get into another tool from VIP, Peter, and I was scared of it in the beginning. And it's his Epcot tips. It's his dual kind of spike tips. This one, and I'm a little different than a lot of guys. I hear from Peter that a lot of the guys like this bigger spike tip, but I have grown to start and finish a dent with this one. And this one is more aggressive, thing. In the beginning, when I first started pushing, it would prick it up and it would make some mess. If you got a big stretch dent and you want to shrink up fast and you don't have a PDR box and you would get in there with a sharp tip and this wasn't as aggressive as a sharp tip, but it would definitely leave a little bit to where you could wet sand out. But I've gotten to the point to where, you've got multiple points of of impact here. But now I've gotten to where I can read each one of those in light. I can get in there and I had a really gnarly dent on a Forerunner that I posted a couple weeks ago. It was gray, sharp and nasty. Put your thumb in the middle of it. I pushed the whole dent with this. Never went to another tool. I didn't use this thing, but it was on a tool on an Ultra double bend, and he did a really good job. I mean, it's got the O-ring. They're not real expensive. They're priced correctly.
I'm curious about that handle of your tip that you have it on, though. Is that from that blending hammer?
This is a dent technology pushing it. So it's just like his blending hammer, but you would just push. I just did this because I didn't want to sit here on screen with a really live. But yes, this is the dent technology.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen that before too. That's pretty cool though.
But they do work really, really well. This one's less aggressive than that one, but it's larger. So it really depends on your damage.
It's smaller on that one, or
yes, they're not as raised. They're not as aggressive. They're closer together. But they're great tips, VIP, and he's doing the thing for Croatia. So if you guys,
man, that's awesome. If we could, everyone, share that link,
Yeah. Like I said, it is on my Facebook page. Go over there. He posted it. You're up.
Yeah, buddy. I've talked about this tool before, and I just got to bring it up.
Yep.
It's one of those like simple but such needed tool. It's just, and the thing is that you could just get creative. Whatever situation you have, you have access to the back and you have a huge opening, you get creative. I don't know. It's one of those tools that every time I use it, I'm just like, yes.
Yes. Can I tell you what
have it
saves my butt with that tool, where I use it more than I ever thought I would?
I'll tell you what though, sometimes I've caught myself as like, do I really want to set it up? Do I really want to bring it out and like take my time? And I'll make myself take that extra 2, 3, 4 minutes to set it up. But man, once I'm working with it,
bro, the leverage is it's unbelievable. That thing on Silverado fenders, you take out the black bolt and the silver bolt out of the rad sport after the headlight's out, bro. You can literally fix that whole fender, never move anything.
Yeah. The other beautiful part is that, the Hondas, Toyotas, the big taillight opening, a lot of the times we'll use that hook, but that hook moves.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to almost hold the hook in place and get your tool in there. You set this up.
Yep.
It's just.
Yep.
I don't know. I know I brought this tool up before in the show, and it's just like I can't get enough of that. It's one of those tools that it's
not going to use every day, but when you do,
you'll be so happy that you have it. So yeah, this is another in my top 5.
Revolution PDR declaration. I got it all right tonight.
You did, except the date of when the show works.
That thing is, man, I use it in, I always seem to get Volkswagen Bug quarters. And you can pull the liner down and get all over it, but you never really get great leverage, in there. You can leverage off the tire, but it's always just kind of all the way there. And that'll bolt right in where the taillight opening is and fill it. And, man.
Even on the tailgate, what did I use it on? A Dodge truck, I think I used it the other day on the tailgate. Had just a huge opening, and I was going to use a really strong tool. And just took that extra time, set it up. You get creative. Sometimes you'll get, a factory hole that you could screw straight. And then another one, what I like to use is this. I'll just I would literally just put like this, you know, lay it against the edge, just like this. You know, just sit on the edge, and then I'll really tighten up the other, and it'll stay on there really steady.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you guys have it, you know,
Josh is saying they may not sell them anymore, from what he heard
wow.
from Anson on PDR Tool Time. So I know A1, Peter, A1 and Anson, I know they were selling them. I don't know if there are any available.
And I'll tell you this, some people are like, oh, the price. Come on. Stop thinking about the price. Think about the value.
You're not even that. You know what it is? You know what my biggest thing is with time and price? It's all about time savings.
Yeah.
That $200 for that thing saves me an hour on a $300 job. Means I'm on to the next job, making another 300, and I'm an hour ahead. So it's all about time for me. You know what I mean? I don't always look at Glexo, perfect example. Glexo for me is a huge time savings.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I remember the first time I used Glexo, it was like on a Mercedes S-Class. I finished the job that I was scheduled there to do, and then the client sees like 2 dents on each quarter of the cell panels. And he's like, oh, well, since you're already here, how about these? And I didn't even have like my glue gun ready, nothing. And I was just like, man, by the time I put my glue and all of that, I almost don't want to do these dents because I got to go, you know? I used to do mobile, by the way. And man, I was just like, you know what? Let me try with the Glexo. Pop, 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 done. You know, it was just like, ooh. And that's where you will really see the value on these tools, you know, when it takes that moment, you know, when you really want to use a different tool and you use it, you're just like, wow, I'm glad that I bought that tool, you know?
And I'm proof, you know, another tool that's not on my top 5, because for one, it's too big, but it's something that is extremely expensive, you know, but the Carbon Tech hood stand as a mobile tech and having a shop, Chad Peters beat in my head from Endeavor Dentals. Just buy it. Trust me, you're going to use it more than you think. I pull off more hoods, more deck lids, and more doors than I have in my whole career since I had that hood stand. Tailgates? Why am I been working tailgates like this for so long? You know what I mean? It's expensive. It's extremely well made. I'm not a hail guy. If you have the money and you're on the fence, just buy it, because I'm telling you right now, it's fantastic.
That's what differentiates the technicians, you know, from the ones that grow and the ones that just stay down below, is the ones that buy those like a hood stand or a door stand where you could actually take off the panels and put it on and work on it better.
I've learned, and I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, and I said this to Dave Johnson last year, because he looks at my truck, he's like, man, you got that stool in there? You know, I have the old Dentcraft roller up and down raising stool. And I said, I've learned that if I'm uncomfortable or if I'm comfortable, you get a better repair when you're more comfortable. I feel more comfortable. I'm faster on the repair. Same thing with taking off doors. Those doors that are smashed at the lower body line, you used to sit down with the door halfway open and struggle. Just take it off. Most of these doors are so easy to come off anymore. I mean, a Porsche Macan rear door, you literally unscrew these 2 little bolts and the whole door comes off. It's the easiest door in the world. Take the door off.
I love it when the Audi client says, you're going to take off that door? I'm like, do you know it's one of the easiest doors to take off?
And you know what? I'm going to do it by myself.
Yeah. Watch.
So I'm on to the next one. And this is probably one of my favorite of all favorite tools, because I do smashes and I do a ton of roofs. This is his blending hammer that has the new stainless crown jewel tips. And if you guys bought the aluminum crown jewel tips, they're still fantastic tips. He went to a stainless material. They're a little heavier.
They're perfect though, man.
But something, I've had his regular crown jewel hammer for now 2 years. And we had a video call right before here, and we were talking about some other stuff. And I told him that, his tool was on my list. And I said something about this hammer. I have more control than your crown jewel. And you guys have seen it on Instagram. I am beating the living crap out of these roofs with everything I have.
You should just put your name, on the crown. Ryan's crown jewel.
Chad got so much thought into these tools, man. I could never do that to my buddy. The solid shaft keeps the vibration out of your hand. And then the other day I was using it like this, completely using this rubber ball. And Shane's looking at me. He's like, you got the hammer upside down. I was like, yeah, we good. We're good. But something about this over the crown jewel just gives me more balance. No other tip ever goes on this hammer. It's always his crown jewel tips. I have multiple sizes. This is a 25-inch.
I was going to ask you about the size.
I have a 27-inch. I have a shorter 12-inch. And I use every single one almost every day. So Endeavor Dent Tools, he is my buddy. This is another tool that I don't think I could fix some of these roofs that I'm fixing.
Yeah, I got to say those tips are amazing, man.
So
it's just the way it moves metal. It's just you're safe with them. That's my thing, like
even if you make a divot, it's so soft and perfectly round. It takes 2 seconds to fix it.
And not just that, sometimes you just keep working and before you know it, it's gone.
You know what I started doing with these on some of these roofs is I'm fixing them from the underside with this. Literally hammering the dent from the inside out. And Matt Boyette brought that up to me. And he said, have you ever tried beating it from the underside? I'm like, nah. Bro,
see, that's what I'm saying. We learned that here at the show.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Yeah. It's funny. I tried it too after he talked about it. And I was just like, wow, really fixing dent from the underneath side. And
Makes
then, yeah, totally.
And I've actually started, and I told Chad today, this larger tip, I'll put on my dent dial and fix a big dent in a fender.
That's what I've heard people saying, that they push dents with those.
It's so dense. It doesn't make a big mound. I've been pushing more and more with these. So, and at first I was worried about this aluminum on the sides, kind of rolling up on there, but this tip doesn't move. There's no give. So, but I started.
I've been loving the bigger size. You know how it comes with the set. I love those too that you have on there.
Yeah,
those are the same ones that I put on my blending hammer.
Yeah, this is exactly the same set that's on the crown jewel. So size wise, but and Josh is saying Korean text, they do that. Matt has them on YouTube, and it bro, it's I don't know. And I doubted, and I've got a video dropping about these hammers, kind of a explanation of the crown jewel to this blending hammer and what the tips are and how it's, some of the materials, and I'm in there, and I'll tell you, I doubted this fender. I mean, this tool. The very first one that he ever brought to me that's just aluminum head, no powder coat, raw dog, carbon. I was like, I was at the Hail Expo, and he brought it, and he's like, I want to show you something. He pulls it out of his bag. He's hiding it. He's like, what do you think? And I was like, dude, another hammer? And he's like, bro, I'm telling you, this thing hits differently. I'm like, nah, man, I don't see. And you got the tips don't unscrew. It's stuck in there. You know, this thing's never going to sell. He's like, I'm telling you. And we went and used it at the Hail Expo on Dwayne Emerson from Power PDR's hood. And it's like, okay. And then the very next Monday, I had a busted fender and used it and sucked my pride up again. And I called him and I said, sorry. He's like, what's that? I said, I was wrong. This thing is badass. So, you know.
I remember the first video I saw of you whacking that roof. I was just like, what is he doing?
Getting money, baby. Getting money.
You seen those memes like, whose husband is that?
Yeah. You're up.
Oh, man. You know, ever since the beginning of my PDR career, I struggle in trying to find the best tap down. And Ryan, when I tell you I struggled a few years because I kept trying different tap downs and just things did not work out for me, you know? And there was finally this one tap down that I found from Ultra, and it's the ones that have this color.
Oh, the root beer.
Yeah. So once I found this tap downs, not this one specific, but the smaller ones, I was just like, oh, this is it. But shout outs to my boy Steve Brown. Introduced me to this one. I got this one from Ultra Dent. I'm not sure what kind of material this is, but to me, it's one of the best tap downs with respect to all the tap downs. Something about this plastic, the plastic material in it, it moves metal and it doesn't scratch your paint. That's my biggest thing. It's just, and I know that sometimes, depending on where you drop it, where you put it, any tip could get scratched. I don't know. It's this tip, it's powerful. It's not going to damage your paint. And you can count on it, like for it to, you know how there's those tap downs where you really hammer and it just doesn't move. It's solid, man. And I wanted to bring this up as my top 5 PDR tools. And I know that even though it's not like a new tool that just came out,
doesn't matter. You
know, every time I recommend them to someone, they always come back as like, wow, that is the best tap down.
Gonna have to get one.
You know, and I think and I recommend getting 2, by the way. And the reason why is because eventually it's plastic, so your tip's gonna wear down. You know, it's gonna mushroom down. But what I do is that I'll keep one as, you know, a regular mushroom head, and then I'll keep my other one and I'll just keep, you know, making it sharp so that I could use it for those sharp tap downs. So this will be like my sharp tap down, and this will be just like a regular tap down for me, you know? But that's how good they are, Ryan. That's how good they are.
All right.
And like I said, I just wanted to bring them up because I find a lot of dent techs that when I recommend them to them, it's just like, wow. Just the same way I was with Steve Brown. We were with Steve Brown and Chris Brown and all the guys, and we were at Ultra buying some tools, and Steve literally says, you gotta get these. He says, put those down, you gotta get these.
And he's a badass, so, you know.
If Steve says you gotta do this, no questions. I'll get them, you know? So, but ever since I was just amazed, you know, how they were the answers to my years of looking for a really good tap down. And I like to share it because it took me years to get to them, you know? And so I got these from Ultra. I'm not sure if anyone else sells them, but yeah, these right here.
What's the price? Do you remember?
No, I mean, they're like your regular price. I think they're about like $30. or show, if I'm not mistaken. But like your regular price tap down price tag, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry to do this to you, but since we're talking about tap downs, I know these are like kind of new, but I am really standing behind these tap downs. Shout outs to the car formers, gang. But they're solid, you know, and these I've seen other ones in the market. And even me myself, I used to have these from when I went to training with the Dean King, and I used to kind of create my own, and you know, because they're really necessary time to time. And then I finally got these. Man, it comes with 4. I don't know where I put my other one, but I used it today. You could see. And like I told you guys earlier, I was whacking it so hard that I even like hit my hand. But it's because it was doing the job. Like it was just, and the plastic, it's strong. You know, kind of. I would be kind of scared to hit it hard on the edges of the quarter panels. But the fact that it's like perfect to work around those edges. I don't know. I'm just ready. So since we're talking about tap downs, these are going to be your heavy duty tap downs that I recommend. And this will be your regular to go tap downs. So if you don't have these, I recommend them. And if you do big hits, heavy hits, and you want to, you know, put those small crowns or buckles on the edges, it's gonna do it for you right here. And I like the length, you know, the size of it. It gives you enough space to like hold it on strong and just, you know. I have a set of tap downs that I'll use just to like, but the fact that this has the bigger tip there for you to, it's nice. So I don't know. It's funny how tap downs, you know, play a big part.
Oh, it's 50 or 60% of your job.
Yeah. I got this one for fun. Sorry, Ryan.
Oh, what's the name of that thing? I don't remember the name of it.
I bought this one just for fun, just because I wanted to have it. But I've actually put it into work, and wow.
And you used it on your own van being wrapped, right?
Yes.
And the reason I actually thought about buying that tool would be transit van bedsides, van sides. You can't get any leverage because it's open. If you can get yourself lined up perfectly on there and get it from the inside out. So I do think that's useful.
This is a fun tool to have. The tap downs. I don't know. I think 2020 is the year of accessories, man. And
it was, man. You know, it's funny as we're talking about tips. I got tips coming on next, and this tip does not get the love it should get. I don't think the complete line gets enough press and enough people trying it. And I have, you know, Dave Stream's a good friend of mine, and I use a lot of edgy tips. I'm a tip freak. I love tips. I love trying different things. This company right here from A1, the K2, reached the peaks. I brought this up on another show, and this little tip right here, okay, is unbelievable. Okay, and the reason I say that, you feel a lot of tips, right? You know, I even have some VIP tips here. This tiny little tip, damn, you can't see it, can you? That tiny little tip feels like a 9mm bullet. Whatever they make this thing out of, it is by far one of the heaviest tips for being as small as it is. This tip pushes so cleanly because it's nice and rounded. It's kind of like an R4, but it pushes different than an R4. and it's polished. I think you could use this to blend with. You know what I mean? It's got some weight to it. And then I got 2 more. So that was my first purchase of those. Then I got this one.
Oh, wow.
I like that I'm a sharp tip guy. I am. Huge sharp tip guy. This pushes like a sharp tip, but it doesn't prick it up.
Really?
It's fine enough to make it, to get in those small little crevices, but it's another really, really good tip. I wish I would have kept them out of the bag. I'm not sure which one is which, but I'm going to guess. So the shorter one is the Spire, and that's $20. You get these at A1.
Oh, wow.
And I asked Maria, I think it was when they were on the show, where does K2 come from? And I'm like, K2, where did this guy come from that made these tips? You know, I've never heard of him. Where? And it's John Kallenbach that's created these.
Really? Interesting.
And here's the other one that I have. And I started using this on a hail rod, on the Carbon Tech hail rod. I really, really like it. Here's another tip that's really heavy. You know, it's got. Huh?
What series do you think that
I think it's stainless. You know, it's a full stainless shaft with a little O-ring, but it's heavy. I mean, it's got some weight to it. This one is called the Pike. It's $25. But after I bought this, I was like, man, nobody talks. This is a fantastic tip. It really is. I mean, it's on an edgy extension just so I could show you guys, but it is a fantastic tip. That little one works really, really well on fenders because it's short enough. You know, if you got the small lip fender like an Audi, you can get in there and just get that body line up without making a whole lot of mess, without using a rubber tip. Because sometimes I feel like rubber tips, you're pushing too much metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to get here and I'm pushing here. So really, really good stuff. Like I said, I don't know. They kind of just came out of the blue. Not a whole lot of press, not a lot of people talking about them. And they are really, really good tips and not real expensive.
Okay. Do they come as individual? They sound
Yeah, they're all individual. He has some peak ones,
I really
some
like
longer
that.
ones. This little one is, this thing's.
You know what I like those small ones for sometimes is to use like a flat bar in like areas where you can't get like a bigger tool in there, but you need a strong tool. So a flat bar, I like it because it's, you know, I could really get in there really tight and have like a
And
dent
this will
dial.
fit in a window with a dent dial.
Yeah.
So it's a, I'll tell you, like I said, I've got tips all over the place, but those just work really, really well. And Alan's asking how much for the dollies. They're $190 plus shipping. You have to reach out to Slanis. How do you say his name? Cars Formers. I can't even say his name.
Call him Cars Former.
So, but yeah, those K2 tips, man, work really well. What else you got?
It's amazing that tips, man. Tips, they definitely do go a long way. What else? You know what? That's all I had pulled out. Honestly, the blending hammers I was gonna bring one by one out, but I decided to bring them both out at the same time. So that's where I lost my.
It's okay. We're an hour in, so we're good. I got one more.
Short.
I love this thing. I could sleep in bed next to my wife with this tool.
Uh-oh.
And it is a chameleon. And this is a short 24-inch chameleon. This whole set of chameleons is fantastic. I used to have an Excalibur from Dent Gear, broke it, was heartbroken. You know, I felt like I was going through a divorce or withdrawal without it. And John came out with these. And even back here, I mean, he's got the double bend set that he just launched. But this set, this length, and then I have the longer length, whatever the next size up, just, man, I mean, you could see this thing is just battle beaten. I mean, I use the crap out of this thing. It's fantastic. No bend.
I have the longer one, but the sharp tip one.
Yeah.
I used it on the Audi rear door, had a dent towards the front top side of the door. You know how like the little plug get in there. It was funny because in the beginning I was struggling. I was just like, I could not find a tool that will get me in there. And then sure enough, I look at the wall and there it is. You know, so I got it, went straight in there, dig, 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 out. I was like, wow. Shout outs to John, man. You know what? I was thinking about this week. The Dent Reaper, you know, it's in the beginning, I wasn't too much, I'll be honest, you know, not a huge fan of it because it was a sharp tool. And I was kind of just scared, you know, of using sharp tools, you know?
Man, he's scared.
And man, it's just like once I started using it, you get more comfortable using it. You know, you pull in that tool anywhere. And it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool. And I know there's other companies who make maybe similar to it, you know, but it's just an amazing tool. And all his other tools that he's designed, man.
Yeah. And you know what? John and I talk quite a bit. That dude does not sleep. Him and Chad are there. Always thinking of something new and a lot of it is their challenges to where they'll get to a car, they struggle on a dent, there's got to be a better way, and they'll go back and they'll put it on paper and then they'll make one and then and then they'll make it better. And they're the type of guys that it takes months and months and months, a year for them to get a product to market because they're thinking so hard on it and making it perfect to where like the Crown Jewel or the Reapers or any of these, you know, even Glexo's coming out with a new hail set that's badass. I love in this industry, the bad thing in our industry is it seems to evolve very fast. You know what I mean? If you buy a hail kit or you buy the Crown Jewel, the next year he's got one that's better. But it's not enough to where you're like, this is worthless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love how the evolving tool end. And I tell people all the time, been in the business 19 years. And I do a lot of really bad dents. But technology's on our side.
Yeah. You know, with all the respect of the guys that have been in the business for a very long time, you know, I always get clients that say, well, so-and-so that's been in the industry for over so many years, you know, he says that this dent can't be fixed. And then I'll just say, you know, with all due respect, like the tools that he worked with 10 years ago
yes,
are not the same tools that we have nowadays.
Yes. Hold on 1 minute. Talk for a minute. I got a tool here. I'm going to show you my very first PDR tool.
So I always say, you know, that it's just like guys that try to like sell their business saying about like, oh yeah, it's been 15 years in the business, 20 years in the business. I could do, you know, anything and everything. It's just like, no, you can't, you know, you don't have the same tools that we have now. You didn't have them 10 years ago, you know, it's like Ryan was saying, like things keep evolving, you know? So it's just like, I was just saying, Ryan, just like when techs try to use their sales, you know, like, oh yeah, I've been in the industry for like 15, 20 years. I respect that. But today's world, it's a little bit different, you know, like the tool technology, like you were saying.
And I say that too, the younger techs like you
Appreciate that,
are fixing are fixing dents faster and cleaner because of the technology. Bro, you should see the tabs we used to have. I used to use the Worth tabs, and they're just about, we used to cut them, make them work. They were trash, but they did, that's all we had, you know? I'm going to bring this tool on, and this thing's getting framed and hung up in my shop because I couldn't get rid of it, and it's dear to my heart because you're going to laugh when you see this thing. You're going to be like, dude, you used to fix dents with this? This was the very first tool that I used to use to fix dents. This is what we had, bro. This is what paintless dent repair was. This and flat bars. I learned on a flat bar. Huh?
You made that yourself, or you
No,
actually?
it's an old Dent Wizard tool. Complete little, you know.
It's crazy.
And this thing is the first tool that I learned on. The very first tool.
Wow.
So this is where technology has come. This is what we had. You know, we had this and flat bars, and Matt Boyette's in here, and he'll tell you too. I mean, we used flat bars. You know, just bars that were just bowed with a sharp tip. We didn't have interchangeable tips. We didn't have blending hammers. We didn't have all this amazing stuff that's out there. But we still fix cars.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, just like if you have the skill is there. But really the new engineered tools, they take you a little bit further. You know? That's awesome. That's a pretty cool tool right there.
So we're getting to the end of the show here. We're an hour and 16 minutes in.
Aww.
You need to pick one tool that you're looking forward to getting that's either not out or you just haven't purchased yet. We'll let you go first.
Oh man, I definitely have a few. You
only get one. You only get one. You only get one.
What is it? The Excalibur? The handset tools, the orange one. I can never pronounce that name right.
Oh, the Hood and Deck set, Excalibur?
Yeah. That's definitely on my list. It's been on my list. That's definitely a tool I really want because, you know, there's so many hood dents that I actually have to bend my small rods to like have that curve. And I don't want to keep bending those rods, you know? So yeah, that's definitely a tool that it's on my list. Can't wait to get.
My next one is the 2MB1 cart and mod rails. I am patiently sitting here biting at the bit to get my hands on one.
Ooh, I got one more.
Go for it.
There's another tool that I really want, and that is I don't know if we could consider it as just a PDR tool, but it's that reset computer that Anson sells.
The Altel.
Clear codes and all that stuff. I think that we're getting to a point where, you know, we have to do it. We have to clear codes from cars. And it's 2021, you know, just a couple of days. So we're in the future.
There's going to be a whole episode on that coming up with some of the manufacturers. Aztec, there's a million companies out here, Altel, Launch, but I have a friend of mine that is a really good friend of mine that is so educated in that stuff. He owned a scan business here locally.
Oh, wow.
And sold to Aztec. And he's got really good information. And I think that it's stuff that we all need to know where that industry is going with the scanners and all that. So that's an upcoming episode.
Nice.
He's so knowledgeable. I call him the mad scientist because he's way smarter than me. And I've known him for 30 years, but I think it's information that you guys should hear of what the options are. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of stuff out there. Anson does a really, really good job with the Altel stuff, and you get a really good price. If you look online,
they do have good prices.
It's a little higher online than it is on Anson. And I think I like that their tech support part of it is better than most. So I feel like you're direct. You know what I mean? Like you can buy these tools from tool people online, like scanning tool companies, but I think the tech support isn't as good. I feel like when you buy it from Anson, you're getting direct to Altel. So I think that is a benefit there. But
honestly, that tools for sure. It's probably on my top, you know, because it's the industry's evolving.
Yeah,
and we got to jump with that wave, you know, before that wave just throws us out.
Look at Maria on here talking about the hood and deck set. I've been telling him, Maria. I've been telling him. It's a fantastic set.
I know.
You guys, you know, it's
You know what I like to do? I like to go into the website, create a cart, all the different tools, and just stare at it like.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you, I got all those tools on the cart. I just not hit confirmed yet. But yeah, I got to do it.
You know how it is. I mean, you're still kind of you're settled in, but you're not settled in at your shop. You're still making adjustments. You're still trying to figure out exactly what you need. You know, and with you're all there. You know, I was just talking to Boyette, and he's kind of that hybrid tech still of being on the road and having a shop and trying to figure out, am I buying 2 sets of tools? Am I buying 1 set of tools? And that's one of the reasons I think that mod rail system is going to be awesome, because it seems like I saw Boyette today posting about it. They're going to make brackets and stuff to where you can mount it on your cart, hang them in your van, take them to the shop. So you never have to take all the tools out. I thought that was a fantastic idea, but well, that's a whole nother show that we'll have to get into when they finalize everything. But
what's
I don't
your top number 1 tool?
I think that cart from 2MB1, Chad and Todd. I'm at this point now. I just said to Shane today, I looked at I've got a little roll around cart that I use that I've been using for years. And I think I carry too much crap. You know what I mean? I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, dog, I use 5 of these tools. You know what I mean? But I know the minute I take it out, I'm going to need 3 of the tools that I put back in the truck. So I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do. I really did like that. David White posted it, and Boyette has it. It's a little like Adams polish fold out cart that folds up quick. And they put the mod rails on there, and it was quick and easy setup, quick and easy takedown. I may convert to that. Just because it's easier to get in and out of the body shops. You know, it's so I don't know. That's the biggest thing that's missing in our industry, I think. You know, there's a million hail carts out there and badass carts, a TDN cart and the Willie Quick cart, but there isn't a whole lot of options for carts and mobile ways for the mobile guy. You know,
it's limited being mobile, right? Yeah. It's limited. And you got to worry about the weight. You know, you got to worry about taking it apart or just sliding it in. You know, there's guys that have it just all the boxes set into their truck or van, you know?
And that's the thing. Like I look at Dave Johnson, fantastic tech. I mean, he's 21 years in. He's really, really good tech. Really good friend of mine. Works out of his transit. No cart, no bag, straight pulls up and fixes it. But I think everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
He does a lot of dealer work. He can pull up next to the car and fix the car. I can't. I'm dragging bags through air hoses and extension cords through body shops. And, you know, it's just a pain in the butt. So I think if someone could figure out a really good option, I like the Willie Quick cart, but I don't like that I would have to take it apart to put it back in my truck because I'm always on the go. You know, I'm on to the next shop, So I don't know. I gotta
see. That's where my thing was, that I think that's where PDR technicians change, because being mobile you could only do so much, because you could only carry so much, you could only build so much. You get to a point where it's just like you're gonna have to get into a shop. You're gonna have to get into a shop, and have all these available tools. And if you just got to do, your regular dealership route, then you just carry the tools that you need to carry. That makes it a lot easier. Just either, things that you could just put together quick, or a cart,
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing with, that there's a limit to being, a mobile tech.
Yeah.
I say that with respect, not just because now I have the shops.
You were there. You were there.
Yeah, exactly. I was
You
there.
hustled. You did the hustle, son.
I remember situations of like me wanting to take off, detrim a car and, in front of a client's, driveway, and I couldn't do that, and sometimes maybe I didn't have the tool because it didn't fit my van.
Yep.
Or maybe because I didn't want her to take out all these tools to get to that one tool that I need,
I know that feeling too. I'm like, man, I don't feel like climbing in there and getting that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's we are super fortunate that in our industry, which is kind of rare, that techs are bringing tools to market. You look at mechanics. Mechanics aren't building tools and bring them to market.
Yeah.
It's the big companies are. Here, it's the small guy that's building these things in their garage and bringing it to market and putting all their sweat and tears in it and bringing it to market. So super cool. If you guys, one thing I want to mention again, I want to bring it up one more time. VIP tools. It's on my Facebook page. It's save 10%, give 10%. And like we said, Igor. And if you guys have never met him, he's just a super nice guy. They had a terrible, terrible earthquake there, and they're struggling. I mean, it is just terrible what is going on over there. So if you guys can go to VIP, and then Ben Riley, Trident PDR from the UK, has started a GoFundMe. So whatever you guys can do for them, like I said, it's on my Facebook page. Do what you can do for some great people in our industry. That's about it, man.
Since tomorrow's last day of 2020, what's your New Year's resolution for 2021?
And the business or personal?
Let's do.
I'm going to give you both. So for business, I've had a lot of time this year to really think. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of time of being stuck in a bedroom staring at four walls for certain amounts of time that I would never have had happen. On the business end, I'm going to focus on not hustling as much as I was and really focus on growing the business. I'm at a point now to where before I could never fully train somebody because I didn't have the time. I was always on the go. I was always running. I'm always hustling. I'm always got to go to the next thing. Need to make money. I'm at a point in my life. I don't need to make that much money, but I want to grow, and my competition is growing. But I know my service and my repairs are better than my competition. The only way that he's beating me in my market is because he has more people. That's my weak spot. So my plan is slow down, focus on growing and growing the right people. Shane is a fantastic employee, unbelievable kid. I am so lucky to have him. And the reason I say that is he shows up to work. Huh?
When are we going to interview Shane? Not unless you had him and I missed it.
No, he hadn't been on yet. He said he would be a good filler. So whenever, he wants to fill in, but he is one of those kids that just stands out of the crowd. You know what I mean? Will do anything. Hey, can you work Saturday? Yep. Hey, can you stay here late and do the Dent Digest Black Friday show with me? Sure. Leave here at 2 a.m. Doesn't matter. Like, that's the type of people that I want.
Cool.
And I want to grow the family. That's what I look at this as. I want to have 3 or 4 guys out there. I don't want to be huge. I want to have 3 or 4 guys out there. And everybody enjoy what we do. Just enjoy it. So
I almost thought I heard that wrong. I thought that was going to be your New Year's personal resolution to grow the family. I was like,
no. My personal is I'm going to stay on this weight loss and get fit. That's my plan. That's my personal, is to really, my wife's down a ton of weight. She's gotten really, really into health, really hardcore,
Really?
even down to, like, she's not diabetic, down to blood sugars, what food spikes her sugars, and which I'm like, you're crazy, you know, just come on, you know. But she's dialed that in, and it's something I've wanted to do, but I always said I don't have time.
Yeah.
It's always time, you know, because we work. I'm out of the house at 6 or 7 in the morning. I get home at 6 at night. I want to play with my kid. By that time, it's 7, 8 o'clock at night. Give them a bath. You know how it is. You don't want to go work out, you know, but it's time, dude. It's time. You know, it is what it is. Got to make time.
Yeah.
You know. And you know what else? I got one more thing. I want to be a better person. You know, I want to be huh?
So how much better do you want to be? You're a great, awesome person, man.
I just want to be, I don't know. I just want to be a better person, just because it's been such a shitty year, and just want to, sometimes my wife tells me, you're kind of hard. And I'm like, well, you know, but I just want to be a little more humane, you know, a little more forgiving, you know, like, perfect example. I'm going to give you an example. I know we're an hour and 30 minutes in, but had a customer come into my shop positive for COVID. I know him personally. He knew the people at his work were positive. I was pissed that I had to shut down again. I was upset at first. I was pissed that he knew that many people at his business were sick, and that it jeopardized me. Like, but then I sat there, and I really sat there for the 7 days in that bedroom and kind of dissected a lot of things. And I was like, he didn't know. It wasn't like he was like, yeah, I'm positive, you know. But there's no reason to get mad at somebody over that. So, you know, for me, it's figuring it all out. You know what I mean? Just being a little more humane, being a little more forgiving, not getting upset over the stupid stuff. But that's it, man. How about you?
Oh man, you know, as far as business wise, I wanna better my skill at selling my work. You know,
See you come to Baltimore. I'll teach you.
you know, I'm confident. I'm confident in my work, but I sometimes feel that I'm not confident enough to sell it. You know, and I don't know if it's because I come from the body shop world.
Is that confidence before you do the repair or after the repair?
No, just in awe. Just for example, like if a job comes in and I know that the job it's worth, you know, so much money, it's just like I just want to do the job. It's just like, yeah, just, you know, give them whatever price just because you just want to do it, because you just think it's fun and because you just love what you do.
I get it.
I want to be able to like be more professional on that side, you know, really,
And
you know, have a really good sales skills. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but you know,
I think it's also the point of you quite don't know your worth.
yeah.
And what I mean by that is there's plenty of times now, and Shane will look at me, he'll be like, I'll give him a price. And the guy's like, it's too much. And I was like, okay. And then he's like, the guy will be like, how about if you do it for $250, I'll do it. And it's $50. Say it's a $300 dent. The guy's like, if $250, and I've got nothing else on the schedule or whatever. If you do it for $250, I'll do it. Nah. And he'll get back in his car and he drives away. And then I just had a customer the other day. I gave him a price on a door. And he's like, you know what? I've shopped it around and you're the most expensive guy that I've talked to. And I said, yes, I understand that. But when you leave, you're going to be happy. And I know you're going to be happy. There's no question about it. So you're either going to get Hyundai service or you're going to get a Mercedes service. Yeah. I'd rather pay a little more for the service that I know is going to be done correctly. Not saying Hyundai service isn't done correctly, but it's, you need to feel your worth and not be scared to walk away from work.
Yeah. You know what?
Even if you sit back and you're like, man, I don't have anything else on the books today. It's kind of slow this week. When you start holding your foot to the fire, is when those customers, what you're doing is you're eliminating the customers that aren't your customer. You're not my customer.
Yeah.
You start building customers that are your customer.
Yeah. And see, and I kind of know this, but I think, you know, what it comes down to, I'm scared of rejections. I'm scared of no. And it's crazy because I'm the type of person that I could tell you every day, you have to love the no's, you know, but down inside, sometimes I'm too scared for the no's and I'll lowball.
That comes with time.
You know, so I
think
there's
no teaching that. It's just time.
Business wise, I wanna better my sales skills. You know, that's definitely on the business side. On the personal side, I wanna really
move to Baltimore.
Yeah, perhaps, right? I wanna be able to plan more vacations out with my family.
100%.
I really enjoyed this year. You know, sadly because of the pandemic, being able to take more time off with the family.
It's not sadly. You're saying sadly because of the pandemic. I got it.
You know, but I really enjoyed it, and I think that the fact that the little ones are growing. You know, one is 4 now, the other one's going to be 2. I never forget. Everyone always tells me it's just like, Manny, your kids are going to grow fast, and before you know it, you know they're going to be 10 years old, and you're going to want to try to like hug them and baby them, and they're not going to want to do it anymore.
Yep.
So it's just like, while they're small, enjoy them.
Yep.
And so, you know, I value the words that everyone shares with me, and I'm at that point where I really have to be more serious about it. You know, really plan out that vacation in the first quarter and the first half of the year, you know, or really stick to that vacation that you say that you were going to take this summer, and not because you got busy with work. Now, all of a sudden it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and, bro, and my wife asked me last night, she says, if you take one thing from 2020, what do you take? And I was like, I don't know, you know, because I'm a processor. I think things and before I really say it sometimes. And she says, you know what, I can call it out. And I'm like, what is it? She says, it made you slow down. It did. It made me, I'm a go. I mean, damn, it's 10:30 at night here. I've been going since I left the house at 6. You know what I mean? It made me slow down and realize what I was missing with my kid. You know, now, I mean, I'm off the next 3 days. Sunday, me and my kids sat in the basement and build Legos for 5 hours. My wife's like, everything okay down there? I'm like, yep. You just stay upstairs. We got this. That's the stuff. Yeah. You know, it's not always about, we all need to make money to survive. I get it. I get it. And we're all super passionate about what we do. We love it. There's days that I'm like, man, I could just go to the shop and just hang out or clean up or whatever. But I think you were right. You know, it's those things of you sitting back and saying, what am I going to miss? You know, when I was closed for 7 weeks, me and my kid rode my bike every day. We rode bikes together every day. That would have never happened if this pandemic didn't happen. Would have never happened. I'm sorry. Would have never happened.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
You know, and we've been doing shorter weeks. You know, there's some weeks that we've been working 4 days. Do I have work? Yes. But I'm really enjoying this 4-day work week while I can get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's one thing I also say is if you have a business and you make it through this whole thing, you're doing something right. Because there's a lot of businesses in the next few months that are not going to make it.
Yeah. They also do say if there was any better time to start a business is also now. So it's just
Why is that?
Well, because everything's down. So it's just like when you start a business, you also start down. So when everything grows, there's only one way.
True.
You know what I mean?
And it's a weird year. I mean, I would have never thought that retail would have been as rocking as it was this year. And I think on the business end, back to one of my other ideas that I thought of is I'm getting rid of more dead weight. I'm getting rid of these accounts that are just pain in my ass that only call me when it's an emergency at the last minute. I'm not your guy.
Sounds like 2021, it's a year of prosperity, man.
It is.
Already down from we took a dip, we went down in 2020. Now there's only one way to go. That's up. So 2021, we ready for you.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the industry. I'm super sad. You know, I said this to John Vidine. We were talking about what 2021 and 20 and
shout out to John. I'm really excited for him.
You know what I miss? I miss drinking beers with my dent buddies. You know what I mean? I really do, because twice a year it would be a boost. You get back and you are fired up and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna have it. You know, it's It's
shout out to all the PDR techs, man. Benny, all the guys, Steve Brown, Chris Brown, Danny, all the guys that we're gonna miss at hanging out, drinking a beer with at MT. You know,
it's I don't know. We'll see. You know, a lot of you guys are still going. You know, I hope you have a good time. I hope it's really good for the industry. I hope a lot of people sell a lot of stuff. But I don't know. We'll see. I guess it's going to be Vegas. It's going to be Vegas.
Or PDR World Cup.
Maybe the World Cup.
But I wish everyone the best, man. You know, wish everyone the best for 2021. You as well, man. Wishing you the best in your business and with your family, Ryan.
And everyone out there, whoever watches the show, if there's somebody you want to see or a topic you want to go over, send me a message. It's always open. I get guys that send me messages periodically, and you know, there's still some stuff on that board that I'm working through of topics and people they want to see. But if there's something you really like, man, I'd like to hear from this person, or just send me a message. It's an open book. Look at this, Charlie Molina. How you doing, Charlie? Haven't heard from Charlie. I hope everything's good. And if you guys don't know Charlie, you got to check out his YouTube page. Fantastic videos. He's got a really good story too.
He's crazy setup with his van too.
Yes. The PDR shop, I think is the name of it.
He's not scary. He'll take any car apart.
Yes. Yeah. But it's been a great year, guys. I appreciate all you guys watching and contributing to this little community we have going on with the Dent Digest. And it's been fun. It's been really good. It's like my therapy night every Thursday. Tonight's Wednesday, but it's okay. And I hope all you guys had good holidays and enjoyed your time with your families.
Yeah. Shout out to all the tool companies too, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been a year. And they, the good thing is we had a decent hail year and guys are making money. It was the craziest time ever.
Oh yeah.
You guys have a great night. I
We should have
appreciate
had a New Year's hat and balloons. So.
you guys have a great night and a fantastic new year. Stay in touch. And I appreciate you guys.
To everyone.
Have a great one. See you guys.